You're gonna have specific cognitive thoughts that feel like your own, but they're not. I break SR, boom, I'm ordering GoPuff. Or I'm ordering Uber Eats. Boom, I'm playing video games. Boom, I'm scrolling. It's like a little trick I do in my mind where I actually rise up and observe, and one relapse took years away from their transformation.
What's up, boys? This was a recording from our weekly Evolve Method Tribe group call from this past Sunday. Past few weeks, we've been going over how to avoid relapsing on things, specifically SR. This week, we're doing a deep dive on what to actually do in response to relapse, how to react so that you don't slip up again and get back to the path. Enjoy the video, leave a like, and subscribe for truth.
So today, boys, very important topic, reaction to relapse. So we've, past few weeks gone over, the past month or so, had some presentations on, how to avoid it, how to avoid relapsing, how to avoid falling into lust, specifically when it comes to SR. But the things in this presentation can be applied to not just SR, but any dopamine chasing thing, any addiction that we're trying to break, stay away from, and overcome. Okay. So we went over how to not relapse, but let's say it happens. All of you guys on here, including me, including Joe, have relapses on things. Am I going to go on a 5-year SR streak? Do I want to? Yes. I could say, snap my fingers. Yes, I'm going to go on SR until I'm ready to have a baby. I would do it. Is that going to happen? Probably not. So what I need to do is be aware of how to react in regards to relapse so that it doesn't spiral me and take me off my journey. All right. So first off, we're going to cover tribe wins of the week. All right. So topic of today's presentation is going to be reaction to relapse. Like I explained, say we already got to the point where we relapsed. Our initial front line of defense did not work. This is still a crucial point in the journey. And if anything, it's even more crucial at this point because I have seen one relapse take years off a guy's journey. All right, I've seen one relapse take a guy from he was completely on the path, 100%, right, in every single area, completely on the method, to spiraling downwards and then just getting off the path completely for years, right? Having to drag himself back up out of a hole, all right? So relapse is a slip. It does bring you down. How do we not let that slip spiral us down the hole and get back onto the path as safely and efficiently as possible? All right. Like I said, most men overlook this moment, and it cost them years. Okay, this is one of the most crucial aspects of the journey, bouncing back right immediately after you slip, right immediately after you relapse. So it's a choice. Path one is gonna be path of recovery. All right, you accept it, you stay clean, you return to baseline pretty quickly after relapse if you made the right decisions. Path two is you keep chasing the dopamine, it spirals you downwards, gets you into a negative mindset, and you're off your path, you're off your journey. You failed. Your next decision in these moments determine whether it actually is a setback or you do spiral. So this is the overview of what we're going over today. Okay. What actually happens after relapse is going to be the dopamine trap. Okay. We've gone over this a lot. Dopamine, you guys kind of know what happens, or we have this graph, you're at baseline. And if you're on the method, you're doing the habits, your baseline is going to be a pretty good baseline. All right. A lot of people, their baseline's here, but their baseline's kind of lower because they're giving into they have a lot of dopamine sources. But for us, our baseline is higher. So when we do actually indulge in a dopamine source, jerking off, porn, scrolling, junk food, video games, whatever it may be, we get a huge spike. It probably feels amazing, right? If you don't watch those adult sites for 2 months and then you do, the spike is crazy. It feels
Fact,
like it's like an insane drug. Oh my gosh, this just feels amazing. And
right?
when you guys are doing it every day, it almost feels like it's a punishment even watching. Like you just need it to feel normal, but you're not even enjoying it in the moment. So the spike's going to be huge, but the crash is also going to go down. Okay. The goal is for us to how do we go here then? Okay. How do we go along this path back towards the baseline and not have a quick spike again to feel a little bit better and bring us lower? Okay. What's going to happen is you're going to temporarily feel lower and have low energy, low motivation, brain fog, and your brain is going to be telling you to continue to indulge into dopamine. This is you in a lower state. Okay. What happens after relapse? You're gonna have a lower dopamine baseline. You're not going to feel good. You're just being in your body and your brain is going to feel worse. You're gonna have much higher impulsivity, much weaker control, and much stronger urges. What we need to do is understand this is not actually us. This is a state that our material bodies and brains are in. Our higher soul is not affected by this state. It is, it's brought down a little bit, but we must consciously choose to separate our souls from that state our body is in. Okay. Don't identify with what the body's going into. If you interpret this state as who you are, you're going to spiral down the path of release. Because if you oh, well, I really feel like I need to keep doing this because I hate how I feel right now. I need a break from it. You're going to chase the next thing. You guys know, anytime you relapse, like everyone has the I would relapse, it would be, say, SR. I break SR, boom, I'm ordering GoPuff or I'm ordering Uber Eats. Boom, I'm playing video games. Boom, I'm scrolling. All right, because I'm just constantly chasing that. I get myself in a much, much deeper hole than if I would have just followed the principles that we're going to go over in this presentation and gotten back slowly up that path through discomfort. It's going to be uncomfortable to sit in that state and not just say, oh, I need more dopamine. I can feel better immediately. All right. But long term, not even long term, even within a day or two, it's going to be much, much better. So, what are the things that you're going to be feeling in this state? All right. It's going to be harder for you to focus. You're going to be less confident. Socially, walking around with people, you're not going to want to socialize as much. I remember when I was at personal training at Crunch, and I had like, 7 hours of sessions a day a lot of times. After I'd relapse, I'd be like, I'd cancel all my sessions the next day. And I'd be like, I just
Mm,
need a recovery day. I don't even want to be around people. All right. Especially if you guys you've been in the gym, you're doing your social exposure, you're on a good streak. I was talking to Carl about this. You go around, it's like, I don't even want to do my social exposure because I can't even look people in the eyes. I know that they're going to be able to tell my sense of shame, my lower energy, especially if I've been going around with this higher energy state, right, and people kind of getting to know you like that. You don't want to go around people and be like, oh, what the hell happened to him? Right, most people are always in that lower state. So it's like they're constantly relapsing on everything. They're going around, that's him, right? That's just who he is. He's just in a normal state. But it's almost embarrassing when you're in a higher state and you go down to the state that everyone else is in,
for
right?
sure.
Because people notice it. So you're much more less motivated, easier pulled into dopamine. Okay. What we need to do is just sit through that. We need to sit through that state and not continue to chase the dopamine. It's going to be uncomfortable. In addition, not besides just those actual effects, you're going to have specific cognitive thoughts that feel like your own, but they're not. This snake in your ear, the deceiver, is the material lizard brain inside you is going to be whispering things in your ear, and we have to realize that this is not actually our higher self. Okay. This is your brain trying to lie to you to get you into that cycle. Right? Your material body is motivated by dopamine. Our dopamine's lower. I need it now. What is it going to tell you? You guys literally have probably all thought these thoughts after relapse. Well, I broke it. I might as well do it again. Might as well enjoy it. That's what happened to me. If you guys watched the video I made a few days ago, I lost my SR streak after a month. It was an accident. It wasn't deliberate. All right. It was with my wife. But then what happened was, so that wasn't a deliberate thing. The next day, I had sex again, and normally what I like to do is after relapse, just take some days off, but I didn't. And I made the conscious choice to release that second time because my brain was telling me, this was telling me, oh, you already did it. You're already on day zero. Enjoy it. Enjoy it with your wife, right? You're already on day zero. What's gonna happen? You're gonna go back to day zero. It's okay. You can keep going tomorrow. Oh, let's do it tomorrow. One more time won't matter. All right, this will make me feel good in the moment. And I'll just do it now. I'll enjoy it now because I'm not gonna want to do it consciously and enjoy it when I'm 3 weeks into my streak, right? And what happened after that first relapse? Yeah, my energy was a little bit lower, but it wasn't that bad. But it was really after the second one that I felt really like shit the next day, all right? Because I listened to this deceiver. All right, these are not random thoughts. These are thoughts you're going to get automatically every time. But it's not going to solve the problem. It's going to pull you deeper and deeper and deeper. All right. This is the cycle it creates. You say you relapse, sharp drop below, dopamine baseline. You feel like crap. Your material brain panics. My dopamine's lower. I need it. I need it. I need it. It's going to try to lie to you. These are lies that it's trying to tell your soul. Your brain is telling your soul these things, and it feels like you, but it's not. It's not your true self. So you chase it, and then you spiral into that hole. You completely fall off the path. So one of the most important conscious things we have to do, and this is almost even a visualization thing that I do, is to remain in the soul, not in your body, and actually from a top-down view, like go from like your brain up and observe the sensations you're feeling, the thoughts that you're feeling. Okay. This is the observe. This is what the illustration of what I want you guys to actually be doing. This is you feeling like crap after a relapse. Oh, I failed. I'm worthless. I should do it again. All right. You want to chase more dopamine. Rise above that. Right? Whenever I was doing like long fasting too, when my body's like, oh, I want to eat, my soul rises above that feeling and I observe the hunger. It's like a little trick I do in my mind where I actually rise up and observe the physical feeling I'm feeling instead of identifying with it. Like, oh, I'm so hungry. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I rise up, oh, my body's feeling is experiencing the feeling of hunger. Right? I separate myself from that physical feeling with my soul and view it downwards. Hey, this is what your body's feeling. Rise above it and observe it. Watch the cravings, watch the discomfort, watch the negative sensations that you're feeling like you're studying it from an outside source. Okay. Tell yourself, my body is in a lower dopamine state right now and it is craving these things. I do not have to do these things. This is my material body that is experiencing these. My soul is connected to my body, so I'm able to feel these as well, but I don't have to identify with them. I'm separating myself from them. Now, what actions are we actually going to take after this? Okay. Ideally, we immediately go and dominate our day. Okay. Say you got home from work and it was like before the gym, you relapsed and you had other things you wanted to do, the rest of the method, the rest of the routine. Ideally, you just go boom, crush it, like nothing ever happened. All right. Some of you guys are probably gonna be able to do that, especially if you're on a long streak and it was just one relapse, just get boom, right back on it. But honestly, while that's the idea, a lot of times that's hard. If you guys, say we're making content, if you binge on porn for an hour, then release, it's like, are you gonna be able to film a YouTube video with high energy and like, if you guys are making content for some YouTube video with high energy and spend a bunch of time editing and shit like that, stuff that's not quick dopamine hits, it's gonna be very, very hard. If you can do it ideally. But a lot of times what's going to happen is that because we can't do the things that we're supposed to do, like, well, I feel like I literally can't go to the gym. I can't do these habits because your dopamine baseline is so low that it's like, well, because I can't do those things, I might as well just go the opposite way. All right. When really the main thing we need to focus on is just not go backwards. We need to be in defense mode. Normally every day we're in attack mode. Attack my goals, attack, 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 attack. We're most vulnerable right after relapse. And in this state, yes, if we can push back and get back to attack mode, that's ideal. But we need to be aware of, okay, right now I need to be in defense mode. I need defense because now I allowed the devil in. I allowed the lust in. The snake is now fully in. I relapse. And now that it's in there, it's going to keep festering. We have the chaser effect, where your brains are like, oh, keep chasing these things, keep chasing these things. And we need to be in defense mode, not go backwards. So sometimes where I felt like it
Real
was,
quick, I want to say something here. So it depends on the situation, guys. For example, Mike just ended, he finished a long streak and then he binged again, right? So he let the thoughts in again. And then after that, he was able to go into defense mode. Sometimes after a relapse, you will have a sense of kind of clarity of, okay, wait, like I've had this pent up energy in me so long because I wasn't transmuting. And now when I released it, I kind of have a clear mind for a second, right? I just had a call with one of my other guys who relapsed, went out, and we've been thinking about doing content for a while. And he was like, this is so unaligned with me. I don't want to be going out anymore. I don't want to be relapsing. And we took that opportunity to say, hey, let's pull out the camera and just talk about what just happened and how moving forward, this is not aligned with you and how you want, he's starting the channel, how in starting this channel, he wants to be able to communicate his wins and losses, etc. Now, this is a specific case, but a lot of times for me after relapse, I've had times where I'm like, wait, I haven't been aligned these past months, which is why I felt the need to relapse. Let me sit down, like Mike said, observe, journal a little bit, and see from like a relaxed state, not like a super tense state, a relaxed state. What is the next path, right? What did I learn from this relapse, and how moving forward do I go up on my next streak correctly? So I think that's a huge thing is after relapse, reflect and figure out what was kind of missing there that made you need to relapse, and moving into your next one, how to move forward. Great.
so yeah, we're also going to go into all that in this presentation. So, um, example, right? These are things that are going to ruin us more, right? I had times where I would have such bad binges, as the past when I was like single, where I have like bad binges, bad, where my baseline was just so low, I couldn't do shit. I could, I could just go and do it, but it was so difficult that I felt that literally I would take a day, cancel my clients, I would just lay in bed all day and just try to sleep through the day and just try my baseline to reset and get back into normal state. Now, is that a win of a day? No, I'm just fucking laying around sleeping all day. I'm not accomplishing my goals, making content, going to the gym and training people, doing my discipline habits, doing my meditations, right? I wasn't doing those things. I was just laying around and saying, okay, I'm gonna be in defense mode right now and not let my body spiral into chase more dopamine. Okay. In addition to what George said, which is observing, which we're gonna go into, that's important. Okay, but the main point of this message I want you guys to get here is just because you feel like you can't do the full optimal routine at the relapse, right? If you can do it, but if you feel like you can't do it, don't let that then be an excuse to, well, I can't do it, so let me just keep spiraling. All right. There's an in between, a defense mode where let me defend against those spiral things so I can get back to my baseline and then get back into attack mode as quickly as possible. Now, like Joe was saying, after
There we go.
when the clarity comes back, like I said, relapse is a moment of clarity. All right. A lot of times we get clarity because it's post on clarity, you get, right? If we're talking about SR. Use the opportunity to learn your mind and your body, reflect.
Hmm.
What happened here? All right, where did I deviate? What did I be honest with yourself? I knew that me doing this one step towards the path was wrong, and I ignored it. All right, what were the circumstances that led to this? For example, on the relapse video I made, I had someone comment. He's like, "Yeah, I noticed after like a lot of reflection of relapse, I noticed that on day 4 and day 9, my urges are the highest." There's a comment on the YouTube video right now. All right, so for example, I noticed that on day 10 of my streak, my urges are the highest. So going forward, on day 10 of your streak, I need to focus on the things that we need to do to avoid relapse. Staying busy, deflecting mental fantasy, socializing, protecting your eyes, etc. All right, or I laid in bed all day on my day off, and I was bored instead of getting out and doing things. Okay, we need to plan. We need to plan more tasks to do on our day off outside of the house. Because if we just lay around all day doing nothing, boredom leads you to dopamine chasing. All right, or I need to delete Instagram. All right, the past 3 times I was on a good streak, and every time it was Instagram that caused me to spiral because I saw one little thirst trap clip and I clicked on it, and then I went to her page, and then it spiraled me. The next thing I know, I pull up the websites and I have a full binge, 3 hours relapse. Boom. Okay, so this is where the real growth happens,
Failed.
where we can actually use relapse as an opportunity to become stronger, learn ourselves better, and actually turn it into something positive. I would say it's not, ideally, we didn't relapse at all, but we can come back stronger so that on our next streak, we're actually a better version and more conscious and more higher gnosis version of ourselves, knowing our body than we were before. Pray, meditate, reflect, learn yourself. That's key here too, guys. Pray. At any time after I'd relapse, I'd pray. I'd say, God, help me get back on this track, help me avoid the chaser effect, meditate as well. Huge. Now, what happens if we actually follow this higher path? If we actually get on the defensive, reflect, and not continue to spiral, you observe instead of react with your soul. You don't fall into your body, don't identify with the urges. You don't fall into the chaser effect. You don't chase dopamine. You hold the minimum discipline baseline, like I said. We're on the defense. You realign with your inner self. Here's what happens. Within hours, your urges start to weaken. Already within hours. Anytime that I've relapsed, I noticed that for those next few hours, it's like now I want to continue binging because my baseline is so low. All right, but as long as I like within hours, I already feel myself. I feel better. All right, if I relapse, oh, I can't go to the gym right now. Then like 3 or 4 hours later, I'm like, I feel like I could work out. And that goes for everything. Within 72 hours to 24 to 72 hours, you begin to feel much better. Especially on that XR streak, after 3 days, you kind of get out of that haze that you've been in. After a week, you feel kind of more back to baseline. Maybe not as you were on like a 30-day streak, but if you only relapsed once, you followed this plan, you didn't binge. Within 7 days after one relapse, after like a 30-day streak, you'll feel pretty close to how you felt on day 30. It's the binging that totally drains your energy. All right. And like I said before, if you reflected, if you learned, if you actually took something beneficial from it, your discipline next time will be stronger because you'll know your triggers better. You'll have higher awareness of your triggers, more control of it, and you won't be as fearful of relapsing going forward because you know how to navigate these waters. You know how
Right.
to navigate these waters of your mind and body. So this path, guys, is not built on perfection. Joe and I, it's not. It hasn't been 5 years of perfect streaks and perfect discipline in every single aspect that we have. Right? All the guys that I've coached who have had crazy transformations, it's not built on never relapsing. I always say this all the time. One of the number one most important things for a long-term transformation. I'm talking about years of you transforming your life from and ending up here instead of down here is the ability to react to relapses in the proper way and bounce back and get back to the full path and baseline that we were at before as quickly as possible. Like I said in the beginning, I've seen guys who were so disciplined, they like crushing everything, and one relapse took years away from their transformation. Years. Because they just spiral and spiral and spiral. And they go all the way down. Now they have a they were clean. Now they have a full-blown porn addiction or drug addiction. And that is much harder to pull yourself out of than it is just to from one relapse, stay on the defensive, reflect, resist the dopamine cravings, observe your body and urges from your soul just for a few days, and you'll get back to baseline. You'll be much easier. Now you can go on the attack again and start doing it. So, as always, boys, stay on the method. Okay. Hope you guys got something good out of this presentation. We're gonna have a little discussion question before we go. I want you guys, one by one, just what is your experience after relapse? Right? Do you guys, because some of you guys maybe after some people after relapse, what they actually do is they go on the attack. They relapse and they say they feel more motivation to go and crush it. I'm gonna go to the gym now and I'm gonna do this and do this and do this and do this, and they do it. Right? Some of it, everyone's brain and body reacts differently. Some of you guys, you might spiral. Oh, I'm failure. I'm worthless. I can't do it. I'm gonna spiral. So what do you guys feel like yours is? Well, mine is, I would say, um, I do feel a sense of much easier to give into other things, right? A lot of times, especially when it comes to diet. If I relapse on SR, I'll tend to go binge food pretty consistently. So I have to be vigilant of that and be aware of, okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna fast. Like not like, oh, I'm gonna go snack around the kitchen and see what's there because I'm kind of hungry. Because I know when I start snacking, I'll binge. So I fast. Right. In addition, I also struggle with the, well, I already did it, I might as well do it anyway. That's kind of like how my brain acts in response to it. I noticed I kind of stay on the defensive for a little bit. It's hard for me after relapse to like really be grinding. That also depends on like how my hormones are, but I have to be really defensive, guarding against those things that we talked about in this presentation, and then I'll be kind of good to move forward then after like a period off of it.
So can I go or someone going?
Of
Go
course,
ahead.
For if it's like been months and it's like the first time, it's kind of like what you mentioned first. Like sometimes like I'll take like a cold shower like right after, and I'll be good to go. I'll be like, "Ugh, I'm mad, I screwed up," and like I'll even like be successful in the gym. Like I'll run an hour plus or like go do this, but that's usually only if it's like it's kind of like that huge dopamine spike you talked about. That's if it's been like months and that's the first time. But if I continue to screw up after that, which is usually how it is, then I'll just feel horrible. And yeah, eating, lazy, be in the bed all day. But yeah.
Mm,
I would say for me, I have like the first 5 minutes, I feel really good in a sense. Like not
yeah.
good psychologically, but I feel like you just got a huge hit of dopamine essentially, right? And then as the prolactin starts to increase, the dopamine starts to decrease. But I'll feel very like clear-minded because the lust is gone. Essentially, lust is gone mixed
Mhm.
with extra dopamine. So I'll feel good, but I always try to use it for wisdom. And I realize if I ever relapse and then go right back to mindless work, whether that's editing content or just scrolling or just being ignorant, right? Then it's wasted, and then I get into a basically a low vibrational spiral. But if I do something whether that's journaling, record self-reflection video, go on a walk, do some qigong, do a shower where I'm actively kind of letting things sit back down for a second while I'm reflecting, and then make a plan going forward, it's always better. So for me, I usually end up being okay. The next couple of days, I just don't have as much chi, as much aura. But I mean, again, in the beginning, it was a lot different. But me and Mike have been aware, and when I say aware, means like, okay, once you relapse, you're aware of the negative effects and aware of what you're supposed to do. I've been aware for so many years to where each relapse now, I'm equipped with these things that Mike just said, to where I'm able to turn it into even sometimes a net positive. Don't let that get to your head and think it's ever a positive to relapse, but a net positive because I'm able to kind of sit back and reflect. Even Mike, when he made the video yesterday after relapse, that relapse in the grand scheme of the universe might be a positive relapse because who knows, maybe men will go on much longer streaks because of that video and his wisdom from the relapse. So I try to reflect, get realigned, and then everything ends up being okay because you have the method and you just keep going.
100%. And a lot of times what I agree with Joe there is that like right afterwards, I feel good because the dopamine baseline has not totally crashed yet, and the lust is completely gone. Right?
Right.
You guys know it's like if you watch watching porn, it's like you get in this cycle where it's like you're watching it and it's like you're hypnotized and it's like you just can't look away. It's like impossible almost. But then like right after it's like immediately close it, like exit out. Right? It's like so easy. It's like oh, it's gone. I feel free now. Now I can go do these tasks. I'm not
Right.
hypnotized anymore. Right?
Exactly.
A lot of times what I'll do there too I use the opportunity to like ground to a disciplined task, like to tell myself like, okay, that happened. I'm getting right back on the path, right? Like
Mhm.
right afterwards. So usually what I'll do then is I'll take a cold shower, just because
Yeah.
it's a hard discipline thing and it kind of wakes you up a bit. But then even after that shower has to be vigilant because then the dopamine crash is going to come still. It's going to come still. But at least by taking that shower, I've told my soul like, okay, I'm in control. I'm aiming my relapse recovery this way, right
Yeah.
afterwards.
Sure.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, so I align with a lot that has been said so far, but I definitely like the more that I do qigong, I do notice that just the chi is completely gone afterwards.
Mhm.
And doing that path of like cold showers and like getting back immediately, sometimes it doesn't work because I don't feel like I have the chi to even be productive. So I often have to just sleep it off, and then I do feel a bit of chi again. It can be even just a quick nap to get back a bit of energy to actually do proper stuff. But cold showers work from time to time as well. At least like last time, I just had to like take a longer nap, and then I was fine.
Yeah, for sure. So that's being on the defensive, right? Like you said, I feel like I can't do anything productive right now. I'm being honest with myself. I feel like I can't, but I'm not gonna let that spiral me into going the opposite direction. Let me be defensive mode. Let me take a nap. Let me allow my brain to kind of get back more to baseline so I get to the point where I can start. my dopamine's at the state where I can start going towards productive tasks. So that's huge, bro.
Uh, with me, example is I get super hyper focused where it becomes to the point where it becomes a pinpoint view where I have a task that I want to do that I'll just get to it right away. Like, let's say I procrastinated and didn't clean up a room. If my dip goes down or I break a streak, it just automatically focuses back to a checklist of what were the negatives that I didn't get done before this happened. And then I set that, okay, let's go back and finish those. So maybe that will awaken the trigger points for myself to see when that happens. If I just did those things, it wouldn't snowball effect down the road. So I get very super hyper focused with like computer work, organization, uh, uh, finding stuff that's not necessary just to do, keeping myself busy. So
Hmm.
like the cold shower does work. With me, when I get if I break down or break a streak is I'm very nerdy and I like computers, so I go to circuitry and I have to hyper focus on repairing a circuit board or something where I have to get super focused to a point of either repair, problem solving, or solution solving for me to feel that I'm getting my energy back to be able to redirect it towards a goal.
Interesting. Yeah. So like we said, everyone's different, right? Whereas Flores feels like he needs to take a nap and let his brain kind of reset for it to want to actually have your brain turn on focusing on things. You feel like that helps you get back on track better than a kind of like a reset, and kind of playing more defense mode. So that's almost a little more attack mode. You're kind of actively doing things to kind of get you back on the path. And like I said,
Yeah,
everyone's
because
different how your brain and bodies work and what works best for you. Most important thing is that you reflect, you're aware, and you learn what it is over time. That's why we're having this discussion class right now. So you guys can
yeah,
learn
with
yourself and say,
especially with me, I have a lot of downtime.
yeah.
So when I focus, it kind of kills the time where if I'm doom scrolling, I can look down at my phone thinking it's 5 minutes and an hour and a half will pass by. Where if I hyper focus, I think, oh, it's an hour done and I did everything done and I did it in 10 minutes or I did it in 20 minutes. It reverses time for me. So
Hmm.
if I have all this free time, looking at something and time doesn't correlate with the energy that I'm using. If I'm doom scrolling, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to look it for 10 minutes. It ends up an hour and a half. Where if I'm saying, oh, I need to do this for an hour, that gets done in 20 minutes or less than 30 minutes. Just your energy is not with time. Time and energy are not the same thing. So always recognize your energy dictates how long it takes.
Mm, 100%. Who else?
I would say mine would be just prayer meditation.
Mm.
Get myself kind of refocus and not to get there. But we all relapse, so just each time it seems to work for me.
So you try to just maintain connection to God.
Yeah, exactly. Like get me.
One, two.
Why did I do this? I didn't mean to. Get me out of this and get me on a better track.
I do that as well. That's good.
For me, mine is usually around nighttime when I used to relapse. Um, because for like how I developed my addiction was it was just kind of like a sleeping aid. It would be something I'd do like before going to sleep. So I kind of been programmed to kind of go to sleep after to kind of reset in the morning. But then always the next day is always next couple days are I always feel like very low energy, and I just kind of feel like a zombie. So it's hard to get productive tasks done. But I just manage as the best I can and get back on the path.
Yes, sir.
So I usually feel a sense of like relief, like I'm not in this mode anymore. Like it feels like I can kind of think better. Like I have this clarity mentally, but soon after I'm just like absolutely wrecked, just drowning in shame and guilt. I typically look for other things to do outside of myself. Like it would always be the opposite. Like I really enjoy cooking for myself, so I'm looking to buy something at Domino's, or I like reading, and now I'm just like trying to watch something to pass time on the TV. And it typically takes me like if I do it, my day's done. Like I feel like I can't do anything. I have to go to bed early, try to get as much clean food as I can the night before in, and then just wake up early the next day, chug some water, and then kind of pick back up on the days after that.
Yeah, just play defense there.
Yeah.
Trying to let yourself continue to spiral for
Hmm.
sure. Good, all good stuff, boys. Good stuff. Important that we understand ourselves, know what works for us, know what we need to do for our bodies and brains to get back to that baseline as quickly as we can. Let's get into accountability today, boys.